Muy buenos días a todos y gracias por asistir al The Forex Day y compartir con nosotros esta cuarta edición de la que ya hemos consolidado como la mayor cita internacional de eventos de trading para los amantes de este apasionante mundo. David Aranzábal, fundador de el Forex Day, ha conseguido que podamos contar de nuevo con los top 10 internacionales que han llegado desde Londres, desde Nueva York, desde Rusia, desde Holanda, pero es que también van a estar con los mejores traders nacionales que nos van a presentar sus estrategias y también su inversión aquí mismo, en directo. En total, 30 conferenciantes, 2 salas simultáneas y 8 conferencias internacionales. Todo esto hace que The Forex Day sea el mayor evento internacional de trading que se haya hecho hasta ahora aquí en España. Bueno, hay que dar las gracias a los sponsors FX. Son IG, CMC, Admiral Markets, GKFX, Ducas Copy, DarwinX, Teletrade, Houses y FX Primus. También hay que dar las gracias a nuestros media partners, Bolsa.com, Traders Magazine, Revista Inversión, Rankia, Investing.com y FX Straight. A nuestros colaboradores también, a todos ellos, muchas gracias. InvestDiva, Tradify, Trading Accelerator, a la Universidad de Alicante también gracias y a FXDA Head Fund. Muchas gracias a todos por apoyar este proyecto tan importante. Bueno, como en ediciones anteriores, ¿quiénes están aquí sentados? Pues todos ustedes, y vienen, la verdad es que desde todos los puntos de España, de todas las comunidades autónomas y también desde distintos países. Muchas gracias a todos por venir hasta aquí, hasta Madrid y participar en este Forex Day y hacerles una vez más grande este evento. Bueno, y qué mejor empezar. Ya vamos al grano con Ashraf Laidi. Le voy a presentar. Él ha sido jefe de estrategias de varias empresas. Ashraf, ¿qué tal? Bien. Es uno de los mejores traders y analistas de la City. Los que le han visto antes, yo les aseguro que todos repiten. Nombrado como una de las personas de la City que tienes que seguir sí o sí, imprescindible. Autor del bestseller Currency Trading and Intermarket Analysis. Nos ofrece una conferencia sponsorizada por FX for Living que seguramente les va a dejar impactados. Dynamic Intermarket FX Trading. Todo tuyo.
Gracias. Hola. Good morning. Hola. Good morning. Mucho gusto. Gracias. Thank you very much. Hablo español, pero no voy a hablar español porque los interpreters need to do some work, so I'm just going to give them some work. So I'll speak in English. Thank you very much, guys. David, congratulations again for, I hope, and I know it's going to be a very successful event. This is my second year here. You know, I usually speak for 2, 3, 4 hours. Last year, I had to be forced out of the stage because I went over time. So today, we're going to try to finish in a diplomatic way, in a nice way. So that's why we're going to go straight to the point. Yeah, we're going to play some music too. And just a disclaimer that we need to put. Basically, whatever I say here is not a recommendation. It's basically what I would do when I say I think the market is going up, I think gold is going down, I think euro is going sideways. I am not giving you a recommendation. I'm not giving you advice. This is what I would do. And it's very important nowadays, every day, to specify this. For those of you who did not show up to the live trading yesterday, we had a good session. We had a good day. Can I, excuse me, the technicals, hello, the team, el equipo del técnico, ¿puedo ver la presentación aquí? Porque yeah, thank you. So, thank you, aquí. So yesterday, David Aranzábal started live trading, and he basically was trading very short-term charts, and he traded the sterling. It was early in the morning. It was 9 o'clock. It was 8 o'clock, actually. And he had a couple of trades. I don't know how many winning trades did you have, David? 30. Yeah. Okay, so he had around 25 trades. It was very interesting. David was able to make something out of nothing. He looked at the charts, he looked at the sterling, and immediately he went and he started to short the sterling, and the British pound fell very hard for later in the day, what turned out to be a big fall in the British pound, and which later came because of the later opinion polls that showed that the Brexit camp was leading further, extending their lead over the stay. As for me, I had a real account. I sent the money, £500 2 nights ago, and we made a few trades, and we were shorting mainly the DAX. We shorted the S&P. Later on, shorted the sterling versus the Canadian dollar, because there were some strong jobs report from Canada, and we did one trade in the dollar CAD. Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want people to think that, oh, in the markets you can triple your money, you can quadruple money, you can quintuple your money. No, I don't want to be thought as that person who comes in and who sells snake oil. I don't know how he's going to interpret snail oil. Okay, but it was a lucky day yesterday. We weren't into the market. Last night, actually the night before yesterday, I was looking and I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do in the live trading? And I looked at the DAX, I looked at the S&P, and I said, these things are going down. And it went as planned. For more details on this, for more details on what we did and why we did it, there is a whole video, it's recorded, and you can ask David for more details. For those who don't believe these numbers, you can come in and I can show you my phone and I can show you the trades in a real money account and I can show you exactly what happened. Maybe I have to ask you for a fee, but hey, to check my phone, because my phone is not for everyone. But anyway. Let's see what's going on in the market. So basically, let's see. Wow, it's already 10 past 10. When I see this woman here, I get scared because she's going to push me off the stage. Okay. All right. Bueno, this is the performance of currencies versus gold. Okay? Currencies versus gold since... Is there? Yeah. Again, por favor, podemos hacer la presentación aquí para yo puedo ver la presentación, el equipo, el técnico que está allá. Por favor, podemos. Será muy bueno. Muchas gracias. Para mí y para los presentadores siguientes. Thank you. Okay. So, because I want to look at you, I don't want to look there. It's rude for me to give my back to people. Okay. So basically, this is the performance of the currencies versus gold. Basically, to know what the currency did, what is the strongest, what is the weakest currency, you compare it against something that is not a currency. Because if you're going to try to find which is the strongest, since, you know, if you're going to compare currencies to each other, you're going to sit here all day trying to figure out which is the strongest. So you compare them to a common denominator that is not a currency. Okay? So, once again, this is, so basically this is year to date, since the first day of the year, and percentage change up until Friday, okay? Okay, so basically this is, sorry, yeah, there's a typo here. This should not be FX versus gold. This should be gold versus FX, okay? Gold versus SX. Entonces, okay, so this is gold. It went up the most against the sterling, okay? Year to date. Year to date, after that, against the dollar. That means the weakest currency since the beginning of the year is what currency? Thank you very much. The British pound. La libra esterlina es la moneda más floja desde... ¿Floja? ¿Floja? floja, yoja, hoja, más floja desde que este año ha empezado, que era en el 2 de enero. Okay, so because gold went up the most since the sterling, then gold went up against the US dollar the most, the Australian, the New Zealand. That means the strongest currency year to date is Japanese yen. Thank you. All right, so basically that is that. Now, because this is a 45-minute presentation, I don't have time to explain the why, unfortunately. So if you want, we can sit outside, because in the live trading yesterday, I spent a good 30 minutes in explaining why does the yen always, siempre, always goes up, sin excepción, without exception, when stocks go down. Many people have different explanations why the Japanese yen always go up when stocks go down. Some of them are wrong. Some of them are wronger. Some of them are so bad. Some of them are right. I'm not going to mention my book. Oops, I just did. I'm not going to mention my book back 5 years ago where I explained this. But again, we can have the Q&A later on, and I can explain why. And these are very important. Not just interest rates, not just the debt. You know, why is the Japanese yen goes up and they have the biggest debt in the world? 200% of GDP. Okay, so, but, this chart is year to date. This is the performance of gold versus all major currencies since the beginning of the year. In the next slide, I'm going to show you gold performance over the last month, meaning from May 10th to June 9th. 9th. It's very important. So time is very important. So again, the strongest currency is the yen. The weakest is sterling. The second weakest is the dollar. Second weakest is the Aussie, New Zealand. Look at the euro. It's not doing badly. And now I'm going to show you, the next slide, a closer picture, meaning a more current picture, meaning what happened in the last month, what happened in the last 20 business days, what happened in the last 4 weeks. Okay. Wow, the sterling is still the weakest. This is very rare. This is very rare for a currency to be the weakest currency for the last 6 months and for the last month. All right? Basically, the second weakest currency is the euro, and then there's the dollar, the New Zealand, and the yen are strong. Okay, now let's get more warmed up here. So basically, this is the euro. This is the relationship, euro versus stocks. So intermarket analysis, for me, the way I use intermarket analysis is that if I find a good relationship between the yen and stocks, or the US dollar index versus, versus gold. If I'm not sure about one instrument, I can actually, if I'm not sure where it's going up and down, and I pretty much know that it has a strong inverse or positive relation with another instrument, then I would do technical analysis of that other instrument. And if I'm very comfortable with that, then I can add confidence in making a trade in the other confidence instrument, which I was not sure about when I was looking at it. This is one of the main reasons. Case in point, yesterday we were in the room. We were doing live trading. And I explained to them, I said, look, on Thursday, stocks got tired, S&P 500, the DAX and so on. So basically, but then when I looked at the DAX, I said, what am I going to sell? Friday, stocks are going to close lower. But which index is going to fall more? Is it the S&P? Is it the Dow? The DAX, for me, was technically very strong. Again, if we have time, maybe I'll be able to show this. But again, during the live trading video, which you will be able to get, I explained for 20 minutes what I did on Thursday night at 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning, Madrid time. Thursday. Well, it was technically Friday. I was in the room, I was looking at the DAX, and it was failing to break the 200-day, 100-day, and I said, the DAX is going to give me more bang out of my buck if I sell it. And then we showed you the target that we had. Never mind. But now let's talk about this. Right now, this is the S&P 500 in the United States. So basically this chart, yes, we are the S&P 500, we're pushing higher. Let me tell you a story. Did you know that the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones has not hit a new high since 1 year and approximately 3 weeks? Okay? Hace un año y 2 semanas o 3 semanas que no vemos un nuevo record in el S&P. This 1 year and let's say 3 weeks is the longest period without a new all-time high since the 5-month period between 2007 and 2012. It was March. So this is a very important time. This is very important. Stocks had a very good 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But I'm going to show you what was wrong with that picture. Anyway, the euro. Okay. The euro in that chart, basically what it showed, it's still well supported. The euro, my God, last year I was in here. Everybody thought Greece was going to leave, euro is going to hit parity. And for those of you who are subscribers to my own service, ashraflaidi.com, blah, 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 Premium Insights, we're actually long the euro in June of last year, when every weekend, every Sunday, you would think Alex Tsipras is going to leave, is going to be kicked out, the euro is going to fall to 1. Did you know that Goldman Sachs changed their view on the dollar 4 times in 13 months? No me digas. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, they were all wrong. They said the dollar is going to go to parity. The Fed is going to raise rates 3 times. Then they said, no, maybe twice. Then they said, no, maybe just once. Anyway, you know where this is going. Okay, the euro is well supported. The S&P is still capped, okay? All right, now, this is all text. We don't have time, so let's go to the chart. This is what you need to know. This is the S&P 500. This is the S&P. For me, I use the S&P. It's the most important stock index in the world because it's followed by trillions and trillions of funds, in hedge funds, in benchmark money. Okay? It's not the Dow Jones. It's not the Dow Global. It's not the DAX. It's the S&P. Okay? So, basically what you see, ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention. Don't look at your phone. Okay? Tomorrow, I'm going to be in a plane back to Madrid. You won't see me. You won't hear from me. Okay, all right. The trifecta is the following. The S&P basically usually moves in the same level as the US 10-year yield or global yields. The yield on the bonds, el rendimiento en los bonos del gobierno de los Estados Unidos, okay? 10-year yield, okay? Usually the relationship is, it moves close, they are moving in line. And dollar-yen, the dollar versus the... Sorry, I was so rude to ask a question which I usually ask at the beginning. Hello, my name is Ashraf. Nice meeting you. But I was so rude, I was so consummated about the time that I never asked to ask you. How many of you over the last 3 weeks had a trading position open in the currency market? How many? 1, 2, 3. You can do better than that. Don't be shy. Show me some hands. Not demo. Live. Okay, very good. How many of you have traded dollar yen lately? Don't be shy. Come on. It's okay. Even if you lost money, I won't ask you how much or what's your name or what's your address. Okay. So basically, so this is dollar yen. What I want you to get from this chart is the following. What I want you to get from this chart is the following. So please focus. Each time the divergence grows and grows and grows and grows, it is brought back by a shock. This, if you remember, the S&P, the blue, was doing okay. It was moving. Yields were okay, but then, okay, this is the daily chart. It's not a good chart, but if you saw the weekly chart, you would see that this is the crash in August 2015, last year, the crash in August when the Dow Jones fell 900 points or 1,000 points. But what it is that when this goes up and when these two go apart, usually they are brought back in a shock, either through an S&P 500, a stock shock, or a yield shock, or a dollar yen shock. So this is for you to look at, all right? And no, actually, this is the weekly chart. And look at the candle. For those of you who like candlestick analysis, the weekly chart in the S&P 500, actually, when we were doing the live trading yesterday, this weekly chart was full. It was up. And then we said, if we close below 2100, it's going to be a gravestone doji. Not a doji, not a hammer, a gravestone doji. And we have a gravestone doji after a star like this one. Okay, this is a big deal. How much time we have? 5 minutes, my God. There's something I want to show. Remember the gold to oil ratio. I wrote this in my book, ashraflaidi.com. Okay, well basically, this is what you need to see. Okay. Now, not many people speak about this. I probably was the only person in the world maybe who spoke about this back in 2007, and I wrote it about in my book. And everybody talks about gold, everybody talks about oil, everybody talks about oil, everybody talks about gold. But how do we bring them together? And how do we interpret what's going on in the market? That's where the real pros will come. And basically, what it shows is that when the gold divided by oil, the ratio. Okay, so usually there isn't a largely inverse relationship with stocks. The red is the S&P 500 and the DAX is the yellow. So basically what you see in general, again, I warn you, this is not for day trading. This is not for day trading, but this is good for you for intermarket guidance. If you find a top in here, if you find a resistance in here, you will find some sort of support. No me digas, qué coincidencia. Mira eso. Eso en resistencia. Eso en support. Okay, this is a downward move, and this is upward move right here. Okay, this is important. Why is this? This gives me confidence. So what are we talking about? Gold had a very good year, oil had a very bad year, and then oil started to recover. As oil started to recover, gold-oil ratio started to go down. And usually, when the gold goes down against oil, stocks usually go up. All right? But what we are looking at here now, so I'm going to take you to a real chart. Okay? I'm going to go here. This is a real chart. This is a daily chart. What do we see? Gold divided by oil coming down because oil was going up and gold was hurting. And now we see some nice stabilization in the daily chart. And as we see the stabilization, look at the yellow is the DAX and the red is the S&P. Wow, what does this mean? Let's forget about the gold and oil ratio now, and let's look at the S&P versus the DAX. Look Look at the DAX. This was yesterday, okay? And this was the DAX, it was yesterday, but the S&P is not falling so much. What does that mean? What does that mean? You may not need to be a genius or an expert in the sense of observation to find out that the red and the yellow charts behind me are interconnected. What you may also want to ask, if we see a sharp decline in the yellow, which is the DAX, does that mean that the red, the S&P, is going to follow? No? Yes? No? We don't know. Those are the mysteries of the world. Unfortunately, we don't have time because the lady's going to get up now and she's going to push me off stage. So, all right? So, this is one of the things that I want to raise your question to you. This is the one I want you to think about, okay? Again, I'm not here to give you recommendations. I'm not here to give you what to do. You had an opportunity, or you have an opportunity, to go into a live trading with real money. It was yesterday. Those who missed it, too bad. But you can still look at the video. Here we have 30 minutes. I'm going to try, and I hope I have explained to you the relationships in general. Now, what I want to show you is the following. The German minus 10-year yield spread, okay? This is the yield spread in Germany minus the US. And this is the euro, okay? So if this happens, and if this happens, now I want you to pay attention because we don't have time. This is the yield spread. 10-year German minus US. It's not US minus German, it's German minus US. Because underneath, because the euro dollar is euro versus the dollar, not dollar versus the euro. Now, I want you to look at this chart, all right? And look at this chart, okay? Look at this chart, look at this chart. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué está ocurriendo? This is the 55-week moving average, and the green is the 100-week moving average. There is something called a golden cross, a golden cross. When the short-term moving average goes above the longer term, it may be something. Do you believe me? You don't need to believe me. Just look at the chart. La última vez que esto ha pasado era aquí. The last time this happened, here. You don't need to take my word for it. You just let the chart speak for itself. Wow, look at that. This is the first time in the world that I'm going to be finishing a presentation on time. But, no, you're still with me for another 15 minutes. So don't worry. Okay, so this is very important. And if we look at this, okay, and if we look at this, this means that maybe the opportunity for the euro dollar is going to be better. Now, I'm going to go into something. I'm going to show you the DAX, what we did yesterday, okay? I'm going to show you why did I go into the DAX. So I hate presentations where you only give PowerPoint slides and you're like, click, click, text, 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 text. This is 2016. People need more. They want charts, they want blood, they want money, they want thinking, they want critical thinking, they want humor, good looks, and more critical thinking, questions and answers. That's what they need, not just PowerPoint, blah, 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 until the guy who's doing the presentation falls asleep. But anyway. Because if I don't enjoy it, I don't expect anybody to do. Here is the daily chart. So here is what happened to the DAX. And this is all nice and easy, but the day before yesterday, the chart looked like this. Okay? This is the daily chart. And to me, basically, this is the 200-day moving average. This is the 200-day moving average. And the DAX, it tried to fall and it held. It tried to fall and it held. That's fine. But But Ashraf, how did you know that the DAX was going to break below the 200 the next day on Friday and not be supported here? And my humble explanation is the following. Now look at the weekly chart. And the way that the DAX was behaving, it had a very visible inability to break higher. If this is not enough, this trend line resistance is not enough for you, and if this failure, this is the weekly chart, by the way, the weekly chart, and if the failure of the 100-week moving average is not enough for you, this is the green, is the 100-week, is not enough for you, it's not enough, and the failure of the 55-week moving average is not enough for you, then I don't know what more can you get as far as a failed signal. And if you don't like to believe in moving averages, if it's against your code of beliefs in the world, in life, if you have something against moving averages, because there are some people like, oh my God, no puedo, moving averages. Then look at price action. Look at price action. And look at the candlestick. The candle speaks wonders. It does the talking. La candela. Okay? Esta es una candela semanal or setimanal, or I don't know where I am, in Italy or in Rome or Spain. Look, this is the candle. It failed. This is a positive candle. But it almost didn't break the 100-week moving average. This is a failed candle. It failed. Come down. Yes, there's a support, but look at this. So, uno, this trend line resistance. Dos, the failure of the 100-week moving average. Tres, 55 moving average. I think there was a show, there was a game show in Spain a long time ago in the 1970s. It was like uno, dos, tres. Most of you were not born. But I'm not from Spain, and I know it. It was a game show. It was on TV. It was like uno, dos, tres, and it was like, they used to give awards. And anyway. 1, the trend line resistance. 2, the failed 55-week moving average. 3, the 100-week moving average. 4, the candles, which are like a comb, like a brush. They're failing. How many did I say? 4? 5? How many? When you go into a trade, you give it all you got. But before you give it all you got, you have to have all your armory, all your mental, all your rational armory before you get in. All right? And then you short, and then you hope for the best. All right? I could go with a monthly chart, but it may be too long term for some of you. But what's more important, ladies and gentlemen, is the target. When we start selling yesterday, the reason I chose the DAX was because when we sold this, okay, we said when we break, there is no support. There is no support except here, 9,800, okay? And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something, and let's get real, okay? This is the cash. This is the cash. It closed at 9,834. But in the CFD, or in the futures, or in the spread bet, I was doing spread bet. You know where the DAX closed, ladies and gentlemen? Anybody can tell where the DAX closed on Friday? Not 9,834, but, come on, work with me. I usually ask a lot of questions during presentations just to make sure people are not asleep. But here we don't have time. But I'm not going to let you get away. And if I don't get the right answer, I am not going to leave this stage. And it's going to get ugly here. So, where did the CFD DAX close on Friday? I sit down or no? 9,800? Are you checking it from your phone? No. Are you? Memory? Okay. Anybody? I have a spread bet account, which is basically it's something you can only trade in the UK. Anybody would like to take another guess? Where did the DAX close on Friday? If you guys call yourself traders and you cannot tell me what the DAX closed on Friday, then this is the end. This is the end. This is the end. If you're going to look pretty and walk the walk and talk the talk, you got to act the act. Where did the DAX close on Friday? Por favor. Alguien que salve el día, la jornada. Don't worry. It's every presentation afterward is going to get very easy. Nobody is going to be as rude and as obnoxious like me and asking you questions at this early hour in the day. I mean, I know it's Saturday, it's Spain. You could have gone watch the football, you could have gone, but you decide to go to this event and watch this guy with a loud voice and asking you questions and provoking you. But all I want, I'm a nice guy deep inside, and all I want is just one information. Where did the DAX close on Friday? In the CFD or in the spread bet? Please, por favor. Come again? 9,804. He's a big man with muscles, and he's sitting like that. Are you saying that because of memoria? Check it on your phone. Can I see your phone, please? No, I'm not going to take it. No, I just want to see. I just want to see your account. Not your account, but your... Okay. Okay, I believe you. It's okay. All right, fine. He says 9,804. That's very good. The bottom line is that when we were trading, our target was reached. For my spread bet account, the one I was trading, do you know where the close was? 9,783. And 9,783. And for you gentlemen, if you saw 9,800, I am so sure that when Asia, China, Europe, Asia opens on Sunday evening, and if your provider is able to give you a price on the DAX on Sunday evening, you will very well see a drop or a gap down towards 9,780. You know why? Because the DAX, each time in the last few weeks, it showed this. Mira eso, the low, 9,737. The low, 9,767. The low, 9,773. The low, 9,773. The low, 9,800. But you can make a lot of money when you look at your futures or the CFD or the options or whatever one of these great companies that is there that is giving you these prices, you will see 9,800. The bottom line is that we took our account from 500 pounds, to over 2,000 pounds, and we did the DAX in and out, in and out, in and out, and it worked well because we had a plan. We had a plan, we thought about it very carefully, we went in and we attacked. We pulled the trigger. We got out, we got in. We got out because I want to fatten my account. Got in, get out. And then we had a target, 9,830, 9,840. People were so excited, they said 9,860, okay? And basically, this is very interesting because if you go to Twitter, in my Twitter feed, I'm going to show you my Twitter feed here. So what I did, 5 minutos, okay. So what I said, basically, this is me. I don't know. I walked into the elevator, I found myself in a library. And I was very angry because my book was not here. So I checked out of the hotel and I moved to another hotel. Okay, what was I doing? Yeah, so basically, sorry. Yeah, so here's what I did. So shared this to our premium followers 12 hours ago. So this was written 19 hours ago. Okay, so this was written yesterday, but it was referred to 12 hours ago. And here's what we said. Basically said that And this was around 4 a.m. the night before, and we said, look for the DAX to return to 9,900 tomorrow. Oh my God, I can be so conservative. It went to 9,800. But when I wrote this, the DAX was at 10,000. So basically, yeah, it went more than 200 points, and this is how we do it. Basically, yeah, what's going on here? About my service, I have these trading services. I have these recommendation services. This is an example. We give you the chart. We give you the trades. We give videos in English, in Arabic. We don't have it in Spanish. Sorry. This is an example of the SMS notification that we sent. This is how they look. This is my book. It's not important. It's just a book. And yeah, this is me. Laidi, ashraflaidi.com. I'm on Twitter, around 50,000 followers. I'm trying to make it to 5 million, probably before the end of the year. And that's it. Thank you.
Boris?